Hello, hello everyone. Happy Wednesday. We've got Walking Wednesday today. Got on my fleece jumpsuit. So soft. It's got this zip up, or I like to keep it unzipped, but it has this nice placard to keep you safe from the zipper. And if you're here, I'd appreciate you throwing a thumbs up. And nice to see you again. Also, the hearts are always helpful. I appreciate that. Trying to go quickly past this music out here because I don't like when you have extraneous music playing and not tagged. So I'm trying to get by that really fast. How is everybody doing? We've made it to the middle of the week. Happy hump day. And I can't believe we're halfway in already. Just, it's going fast. Here in Los Angeles, it is beautiful weather. And I guess it's going to get really hot, and we're going to have crazy heat. I don't want to call it a heat storm, but heat wave. Whereas I guess the rest of the country is getting more crazy weather, like tornadoes and cold and all of that. So who knows what's happening with this weather pattern, but evidently we're all in disarray. So I gotta say, today it's supposed to be about 78, but tomorrow 94, and that is hot. So I figured I better come out with my fleece on, although I do think that the fleece is probably great at any time of the year, because if you want to be out exercising and getting your sweat on, this would be a great way to intentionally get your sweat on. I do, in case you didn't know, you can shop right here on YouTube. Did you know that? And also, if you're new here, hi, I'm Beth. I typically bring you fashion, fitness, food, and finds. Today I'm bringing you a little fashion and a little fitness all at the same time. I have been on a health journey. Well, I'm always on a health journey, but I have been on a health improvement journey. Even that sounds ridiculous because I'm always on a health improvement journey, even when things are going terribly sideways. But I have been on an intentional weight loss journey since the end of 2023, and I have been able to let go of about 85 pounds, and the body is snapping back. So right now I've kind of been stuck where I'm at. Within like a 7-pound range. Let's call it a 5 to 10 pound range. For practically 6 months, I guess. And while I think that the body needs that, because a lot of times what people forget or don't know, I think actually people just don't know, is that your body, as it's going through these changes, at some point it needs to catch up. It needs to recalibrate. It needs to get comfortable where it's at. And then it can move to the next level. And so that's where refinement and tweaking come in and all of that. And so I'm kind of been in that state. I'm not receiving the same non-inflammatory benefits with my medication. I did start a GLP-1 in May of 2024, and for the first 9 months, those non-inflammatory benefits, as well as the mast cell, I also have another disease called mast cell activation, that tamping down those mast cell activations was amazing. It's not as strong as it was right now, but I've also not changed dosages. So I might need to give in and see what happens if I do that. Sometimes I'm a little stubborn and I don't want to upset the apple cart. You know, the evil you know is better than the evil you don't know kind of philosophy maybe sometimes. But I am going to be looking at that. I was able to make some improvements after I let go of the processed gluten-free carbs I had brought into my life during the holiday seasons, and after November when I had a knee injury, and so things are better on that front. However, I'm amazed at how just in this past week swelling has ensued. Now, as I say that, I'm having a little aha moment that maybe the swelling ensued because on those days I was not doing the same type of walking. So that could be part of the equation. I was having virtually to no sleep for about 4 days last week. My husband was away and I was just like a working fiend. I was one night I stayed up till 4 in the morning and I had to be up at 7. The next day I was up I think until 2:30 and I had to be up at 6:30. I don't know, one night I had 2 hours of sleep, the next night I had 4 hours of sleep, and the one after that I had I don't know, 3 hours of sleep, and my body just doesn't work well with that. I think that laying flat when you have lipedema is super underrated and really needs to be part of your daily routine for an extended period of hours. I think that actually 8 hours is the optimal way to be in that laying flat position, and not even with elevated legs, just flat. I think that gives your abdomen a chance to process all the lymphatic movement and stuff like that, as well as all the other top 6 places that lymph nodes drain from. And so also, if you're new here, all of this lusciousness that I have from my waist down and in my upper arms here is at its root cause a disease called lipedema, which affects at least 11% of women that we know of, and causes a lot of swelling, heaviness, pain, can cause bruising, so many things. And quite frankly, all of that messes with your brain, because even when you're doing all of the right things, like anti-inflammatory nutrition, movement, wearing medical grade compression, your body can just act as it wants, and that is frustrating. And I was in that mode Now, the other thing that I think plays into effect with any of these chronic illnesses is stress. And so I talked about the stress of not sleeping, but just even the stress of everyday life. And so, constant changes going on, never knowing which way is up. And then if you want to talk about the worldwide stage, well, I'm pretty sure that's not making anybody feel safe right now. So there's just so much of that going on that, our bodies, depending on how functional they are, really kind of react. And especially if you have a more reactive or sensitive system, then you're kind of, you're sort of kind of like probably should feel guaranteed to have some sort of functional response. So I forget that because I like to think that I'm normal, and I'm not. And I never have been, and I never will be, because this is the body the good Lord decided to give me. And, He knew that He could entrust it to me. And so here we are. And it's always a different day, and nothing is guaranteed. Oh, hiya, people. How are you? Thank you for acknowledging my courage and bravery every day. There's not too many people that really can move forward in this kind of fight daily, a daily fight. This week I've been a little reflective and realizing that what my life would have been like had I not had to deal with all of these issues for my entire life. It's an astounding thought. I'm not a person who ever says shoulda, coulda, woulda. I believe that everything happens for a reason at that given time and all of that. But that is a body snapping back. Can we all take a moment of thanks for that? Good Lord. It was not an easy existence I was living in 2023 at all. And I am thankful for these 85 plus pounds to be gone, because it was not fun. And my poor body was not. It was just trying to tell me, like, we are not okay. You have to change things up. We need support. And thank God I pulled the trigger and gave the medicines a chance, because I had no idea what it would be like on the other side of the benefits. No idea. Immediate reduction in swelling for me within 18 hours was beyond what I could have ever comprehended. And just the ability to have my body actually start functioning a little bit. It's been very slow and steady. But yeah, amazing. So, although we've been kind of in this holding pattern for a little while, that's getting a little frustrating, I am very thankful for this moment to just kind of get centered, and it makes sense to me, because this really this body is really where I spent most of my life, give or take 20 pounds or so, I guess. And so I get it. Even in my worst of times, I was still taking good care of my body. I've just done some calculations, and at least 75, if not 80% of the time, my body has been treated above and beyond healthful care, with healthful care. And it's that 20 to 25% that sets me back and lets other things ensue. And so it's all a learning, and we all do better as we know better. And sometimes we get stuck. Fear takes over. Experience takes over. And we don't really know how to get out of where we're at. But here's the key message. The key message is that in order to create change, most often it requires massive action. It requires you to take massive action. So when I went on this health improvement journey at the end of 2023, I had spent 6 months already digging into what was wrong with the systems in my body. I had every test done known to man. I ended up going in and having my heart shocked back into rhythm because it wasn't doing it on its own. It took 6 months for that to happen, but I had every test known, and I felt confident that I knew what was spurring that those blips. I learned that my food allergies were really a big driver, and I didn't even know I had food allergies. So I had to drop 26 foods. Most people won't even drop one food, let alone 26 foods. That isn't taking massive action. I had to make sure that I was, fueling my body in a healthful, non-inflammatory way. And I had to make sure that there was some movement involved. I had to make sure that I was treating my sleep apnea, and that was not fun. I did not like that in any way, to wear a sleep machine every night. And I was so scared that I sat up sleeping, which was not good either. I had to, enlist the help of my metabolic device, the Lumen, so that I could verify that I was in a fat burning state, and verify that and keep track of what I was ingesting to make sure that I was following the right protocols for me. And that takes a lot of massive action. It takes a lot of time and energy to weigh your food and prepare your meals, and always cooking at home and never being able to go out, and only drinking water or herbal tea, dropping, well, I had done this in many years before, but no alcohol whatsoever, no sugary drinks, which I mostly never had either. Those two things were not very difficult for me, but these are things that people have to do. And so it's those type of massive steps that are essential. Those are the essential steps that you have to take in order to make sure that you are on the right path to success. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you have lipedema. It doesn't matter if you are 20 or 90. You know, sometimes you just have to do that. You have to lock in and you have to do what it takes. And it didn't come fast for me. There were a million people on these GLP-1 medications that were losing crazy amounts of weight in crazy amounts of time, and that is not how it worked for me. I was averaging about 1 pound per shot. If I didn't have the shot that week because it wasn't available, then I wasn't losing anything that week. And that was for the first time proof to me that obesity is a disease and my body needed help. And I was floored. I've been living with obesity since I was, I don't know, 6, 8. And lipedema since then as well. Of course, I never knew about lipedema until 2017. But, and then all of these food allergies, mast cell activation, sleep apnea, those came on as a result of a system that was so poorly supported because it just wasn't able to function. And no surprise, really. Have you dealt with obesity or overweight or any chronic illnesses, any autoimmune issues? What's been your experience? I'd love to hear about it in the comments or here while we're live. Let me know. I'm going to take a minute to wait and see. If you're here, please throw up some thumbs up so I can know that you're here. And please throw up some, the little hearts, I guess, so I can know that you're here. For most of you that have been here before, you know that I don't like talking to myself. I mean, I could just record a regular video. And it would do much better on YouTube if I did that, to be honest. You know what? Thank you for reminding me of that. I'm going to do that one day. I'm going to record the video while I'm doing my walk, as if I'm talking to you all, and we're going to see which one does better. That will be really interesting, and I bet you the one that's not live will do better. Live streams are set to do well when there's a lot of interaction, and often you come as if the cat has your tongue, and it's not helpful. So, it takes me a minute, but sometimes I learn. Necessity is the master of invention, right? I have been showing my outfit through most of the video, but here it is. This is what I've got on today. I've got on my fleece-lined jumpsuit. It's got a zipper that comes all the way up. But I like it when it's set as a V. It is very comfortable with the fleece lining. Although it's warm, it keeps you cool because it's wicking, and then it would be great to use to actually make you sweat more in the hotter weather. So I think it's a year-round outfit. And if you're new to this, you can actually shop right here. There's a little at the bottom. There's a little shopping bag, and you can click into that and shop there. Purchase one for yourself or your loved one, and enjoy the same style and benefit. This is great for, this is lipedema woman approved, that it fits in the thighs and the hips and the calves and the upper arms. And that's not always the case. I would say it's true to size. I'm wearing a size large, and yeah, that's what I can tell you. So have you shopped on YouTube before? And if so, what have you purchased? What have you purchased through YouTube? Like, where you actually checked out at YouTube shopping, or do you usually shop in the description? I want to hear about that too. If you want to shop through the description for this particular outfit, you can find it in my TikTok showcase, and you just type in fleece line jumpsuit. So I'm gonna sign off and say bye-bye. Oh my goodness. Because I am approaching my car, and I've got to see my how much time I've gotten in. Yes, Amazon, Habibu. I have it there too. If you go into my Amazon shop, you can type off fleece-lined jumpsuit. It's there also. And that Amazon shop should be in the description also. Now that you're saying that, I'm wondering if that's true. Oh, goodness. I think it is. Oh. For so long, I did not share my links because I didn't really understand that people were shopping. And now I know. So when you know, you do better. So I'm trying to do better, Habibu. Trying to do better. Okay, y'all. I think this is it because I gotta figure it out. I gotta see how much time I got in, and if I have to have any more rounds. I don't think so. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I'll see you again. Bye for now. See ya.